Hey y'all, welcome back to part 2 of the reading that commenced less than 24 hours ago. Um, y'all, the energy is heavy. It's been heavy all day, and I feel like there have been instances of spiritual attack also represented. No one was physically harmed, but the presence is always there, so immediately it is rebuked. And I don't know if you're experiencing the same, but just be encouraged. Know that I'm in the fight with you. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and pick back up where we left off. All day I've been, trying to avoid addressing this subject matter because it is one that is very sensitive and can cause like carnal energies and people to be all in their feelings and then project that energy toward me as a reader when I'm here to expose truth and justices, but it just happens to be against a large conglomerate of traditionalist religion, spirit filled, we'll say. I don't know what spirit, that's up for a discussion. But them coming together as a collective group against one, which I represent one, another reader, another channeler, another spiritualist could represent also that one. So I would just say that their collective is much more powerful in numbers, but we serve the same energy by way of God, Holy Spirit, Creator, Source. So I don't understand what the problem is, but I was just thinking of all the things that they can use to try to weaponize the messages. So I'm already prepared for that because I was brought up in that spirit of, quick retaliation by way of using God as, some sort of source to attack others or belittle others or make others seem that they're, in the wrong for certain things, which God never deemed it that way, but their physical flesh, ego deems it that they're, in some sort of superiority position. So if it makes them feel great, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Just don't, use your insecurities and, that energy of being hypercritical and what's the other one? When they're doing it, but they're telling you not to do it. Whatever that is, I can't think of it. It escapes me, but anyway. All right, you guys, let's dive back in. I hope y'all are well. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscription to the channel, also to the membership. Don't forget that I will be migrating over to a membership only here in a little bit. So I just want to give you guys time to prepare. If you like the messages and you want to support, I welcome you to go over to the membership link. It's in the description below, and sign up. It's a minimal fee. So it's no levels. It's nothing, crazy over there. It's just, you just support the channel and you support me as a reader. That's all it is. So, all right, you guys, here we go. And I'm trying to limit, the attacks and limit, my, the communication by way of Holy Spirit falling amongst, the swine. So the pearls, that's the reference, among swine. So I know there are people who watch and project and send, insecurities and negative feelings toward the collective, but those are the ones that, are not welcomed. So whatever I can do to try to limit, that space from any of us being attacked for no reason, I'm going to do that. All right, you guys. So I don't want to rehash anything from the first reading. It's very short. If you want to catch part 1, please, by all means, I welcome you to go watch that and then head back over to this part 2. And let's start with the revealing of what's behind the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles reverse, I'm hearing luxury. So there's something about your energy collective that these pentacles definitely belong to you. Could be talking about the Queen of Pentacles. That's if you identify with earth sign energy, definitely you're represented here. But these pentacles belong to you, but they've been siphoned and used by people who might be close to you, family, your connective activity by way of the church, because that was, the energy that was coming up from the very beginning. that there was spell casting or spell work in the church, but possibly you are now reuniting and reconnecting with your spiritual gifts. But these people were kind of doing the same thing that you're about to, gain exposure for. So, I mean, I feel like the gaining of exposure means that, you're going to be lit when it comes to whatever this is. Like, this is going to be like your deal. And I don't feel like it's something that you have to share with people or be public about. I don't think that's the thing. I think it's just like it's going to progress change. It's going to, usher in a lot of healing and things of that nature. But it could be things that you're doing privately for, the sake of humanity. So, I mean, but it's going to be your lane. And this is definitely going to be the lane that you're going to be comfortable in and stay in, because it's the lane created just for you. But these people, again, have been using what it is that, belongs to you, but in the sake of church organization. And you guys, I did want to mention that earlier, dropped on my spirit. Church is like a social gathering. It's a social collective, I mean, I feel like the I don't want to say orientation, but the foundations of church began, not for nothing, you guys. Church really began because I started doing some research months ago when I started receiving like Egyptian and biblical prophecy information and stuff. I said, well, let me do my due diligence and dig in, once the channeling commenced. But anyway, church began by, I believe, the Romans, but church was actually something that was held inside your own household. It was the women gathering in homes. Like, that was where church was, but I feel like that's ministry. If they were getting together, baking bread and cleaning the house and talking about the goodness of God and, universe source, whatever they were doing in those times, whatever the topics were. That's how that started, but it became some sort of threat that the men of the family did not want the church to go outside of the home by way of women being the heads of the churches. That's where the organization came of church and the whole separate building of where you're going to have church and then who's going to be the head of the ministry or the services. It was men, but they only did that because they didn't want women to be able to do it. So that's just a little information that I'm passing along to you, but it's readily available out there if you care to seek the knowledge. Anyway, you guys, so I know I said all that for a reason here. So I would like to say that the church, what I just talked about, the church and the organization being mostly headed by men, like that's no secret. Of course, they have their wives beside them, probably some extra marital wives of affairs are also in the building. Let's not play dumb. But the thing is that there's something I'm hearing sanctioned that's always been like an operating cost of an energy, is that men, a collective of masculines, are always to head this enterprise. But it started with divine feminines, that union of divine feminines. But then you have men saying, no, we can't have that. No. So, y'all, that came from that 10 of Pentacles reverse. But let's see what's behind that. We have the Queen of Cups here. So I feel like the emotions of a Queen of Cups is what really gets the point across here. But, I feel these masculines have to have some form. I heard divinity. So they have to have that form of a divine union by way of a woman and use that energy from that woman for them to be able to complete their sermons and to be able to give out that energy and get it right back, to be able to siphon the energy from the collective, from the congregation. That was the spell work energy that was coming up in the beginning. And I was even being shown, like even Martin Luther King, his wife, Coretta Scott King, wrote, I heard, like I was around, but I feel like it's no secret that she is the one who wrote a lot of his speeches, because there's something that comes from the core of this Queen of Cups that's innately part of her. And yes, I'm being gender specific here because that's really what we're talking about. But, you know, I'm being shown now, it's like if you have a pastor and his wife and they have this beautiful church and congregation and it just goes on and on and on and on for years and years and years, and it's just passed down to generations. But you have this divine feminine of a Queen of Pentacles rising up here by her lonesome. And it's not because she's lonely, as she chooses to be alone because she's done a lot of healing and nurturing of herself. But then let's not forget that what she had has always been innately hers, just like this Queen of Cups energy could be the same person. But the fact that the Pentacles came into play, I'm hearing Roman Empire, the Pentacles came into play somehow another along this journey of a church and the organization. But it started out as a Queen of Cups energy, very loving, nurturing, compassionate. All right, we got it. We got it. Thank you, Spirit. Behind the Queen of Cups, we have, look at there, the King of Pentacles reversed, right behind the light. Baby, you think you might want to, you want to keep the lights on, right? That's what I'm hearing. Like you want us to be able to have, didn't I hear luxury, you guys? Because I was about to say, I was hearing lavish lifestyle. I know you care about the kids and the babies and the wives and the mothers and the this and the that, because that's how this started, that divine union way back in the day, where I gave you a little FYI, but the men come along and they're like, you know, we could be getting paid for this. Like, what is you doing? Oh, man. Behind the King of Pentacles reversed, look at this, King of Swords. Well, if you're not going to do it, I am. If King of Pentacles is like, come on, baby, please work with me here. We got to keep these lights on. You know, I like this particular brand of bread. We're talking about way back in, what is this, 1700s? I don't know. I don't know. Whenever this was. But they got used and accustomed to things here. This King of Swords says, wait a minute now. You mean to tell me that, okay, this is what I'm receiving, y'all. So say that this Queen of Cups, this is Betty. She was running the church service in the home, because that's how this started, before there were even churches of existence. The King of Pentacles is hearing that, you know, Betty is talking to her husband about starting, you know, their own thing. And then here the King of Pentacles like, baby, we got to keep the lights on. So what you want to do? I need you to work with me. The King of Swords is like, you know what? I'm going to go out and do it, because there's no way I'm going to let Tom start his church without me. So somehow, possibly, maybe the groups of men started getting together and, you know, starting their own little thing. It just feels like this is like modern day energy, but it was then. But it started like a whole big thing to where you and I would call this a place of worship. But the home was originally the place of worship. Yeah. Behind the King of Swords reverse, we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups lets me know that these two kings coming together, they're in the reverse, y'all. You know, only to be able to, I'm hearing admonished. Because I was getting like admire and admonish, but it seems like those are opposites. Like to shun would be the admonish, but to admire is like bringing forth. But they're in the reverse, so that tells me everything that I need to know. This really wasn't coming from a good place when they got together to say, hey, let's start a church. Because they left behind all of the essence of the energy of where this even started. The origin of being in the home, ministry amongst women. Till the men got involved. All right, y'all. Behind this energy we just went over, we have a Six of Wands. So this means, I heard empty victories, but this has to do with like temporary celebrations. Like, you know, you can stop and, you know, give glory to God. Let me just say what I'm hearing instead of telling you I'm hearing it. I'm just going to try to start doing that. So this is the giving the glory to God, but then knowing that there's more work to do. Let's see what all that involves or entails. Yeah, the Knight of Wands. I feel like this is adverse. because the Knight of Wands is headed toward where this giving glory and honor to God is coming from. Like the Knight of Wands, like, are you coming in to present some sort of offer of, I can help you with this, let me assist you? But then the Knight is the one who's going to be in and out. Even though they're both on horses, I feel like this Six of Wands is leading some sort of brigade, like advancement toward, you know, good doings and offerings. I'm hearing offerings of tithes. So no wonder we're talking about the church. But then this Knight of Wands coming in saying, oh, wait a minute, not so fast. How about, it's almost as if this Knight of Wands is coming in as like a checking sort of energy, like checking people, like, what about this? You know, are you up to date on this? Did you do this? But I just heard tithes, y'all. Let me see what's behind the Knight of Wands. But I'm being reminded to remind us that this is some sort of like a checking, like something coming in. I'm hearing periodically checking things or people or situations. I'm hearing discouragement and dismemberment. I'm hearing what's allowed, and the opposite of that would be like what's not allowed. So this is where the politics comes in. So here we are. This is ushering politics into the organization of church religion. I guess that's why they call it religion and state, because of the politic reference to that. Oh boy. No, church and state. My bad. It's church and state. Okay, we're getting some information, y'all. Y'all, not to mention, right before this, it's a little TMI, but I did experience some projectile vomiting before this, like right before this. So that's why if my voice sounds a little lower, that's why. I told you I've been dealing with this, or this has been trying to deal with me to keep from getting this out. But then I was considering, like, you know, religious people watching this and using my words as some sort of threat or weaponry, or I'm trying to take down the church. Or no, we're talking about spiritual giftings and who it actually belongs to and who has the right to those gifts, because they are naturally part of their innate origin. So we were talking about someone who's chosen and then someone who's called. That was in the original part 1. All right, so here's the church and state information that we're getting right here. So behind the Knight of Wands, look at this, the Empress reverse. Ooh. So are these like the fake divine feminines that started coming in, along ushering behind the actual politics entering into the church? I would say so. I'm hearing it keeps it entertaining, but we're talking about spell crafting. It keeps it entertaining. Empress reverse, stirring the pot a little bit, doing a little abracadabra here, a little abracadabra there, casting illusions possibly, because we are talking about Magician card reverse. And this was the part that it belonged to the one who says that they were called. So they are practicing in church and state, organization, religion, all of that. Whereas you, Queen of Pentacles, or whoever you are, this is your gift. Behind the Empress reverse, Strength card, because it gives this Empress reverse power that they would have never had outside of the church. But in the church, they can have everything they want, laid out exactly how they wanted, people bowing down to them. For what? For no reason, I'm hearing. Like, for what? Like, outside of the church, you are nobody. Like, nobody will rock with you outside of the church. But because you're casting illusions here, I'm hearing like the world is theirs, their world is made. But they're stealing this energy, not only from the congregants, but from the chosen ones who this is their right. Not that I'm saying the chosen ones are going to go work magic over a collective of people, you know, for their own good, but that's what's happening over here. Remember the King of Pentacles said we got to keep these lights on. Work with me, baby. All right, y'all. Let's see. I'm glad this is moving along because I really was not looking forward to this one. I didn't even know what was coming, but I was already like, I know it's going to be mobs of angry people and, you know, them all about their God and me being the devil and all that kind of stuff, which that stuff is so played out because it's like, look in the mirror. Yeah. Look in the mirror is what I would tell them, is what I'm telling them. I'm hearing to ask you, how much good do you do outside of the church? Or is it only when the cameras are on? All right, y'all. Good gracious. All right. I might have got myself in trouble just now. But anyway, we have the Moon card talking about exposure of things that were hidden in the dark. I'm hearing excluded. So some things were left out. But wouldn't that be a proper representation of what we're talking about now? Things being left out of scriptural, the pastor, what they chose to share with the congregation and chose not to share, or how they misinterpreted and led a whole flock of people astray just by way of them mincing words. Magician card reverse, casting illusions. We have the Eight of Pentacles reverse because whatever it is, it always has to work in their favor and benefit them no matter how much it's going to hurt in the end. So I'm hearing, you know, just being shown like the old grandmothers who are penniless, like they gave away their whole life savings to the church. That's what I'm being shown. And they're sitting somewhere by themselves in a nursing home, can't even get these congregants to come visit, can't even get the pastor to come visit. They gave away their whole life savings to this organization. And they sit alone. Make it make sense, y'all. Y'all can't be mad at me because y'all know it's true. Let's see what's going on behind the Magician. I'm here now, so let's go. What's behind the Magician reverse? We have the Four of Pentacles, y'all. We've been talking about money. This happens to do with control, keeping the pentacles. Like, this is what I do. This is me. But this is also giving me that energy of title holders and position holders. Like, you're not going to come and tell me what to do in my church. Cause y'all know that's how it goes down behind those closed doors and those board meetings. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. Don't act like you don't know. Two of Cups behind the Four of Pentacles. The Two of Cups. Oh, my. Well, I mean, we could be talking about unions here. Just the church having a sense of, you know, you're loving your neighbor and comparing. I didn't mean to say comparing, but it came out. Wanting to create community within the church amongst the members and them hanging out and discussing how wonderful the church is and the church they go to and spreading that, you know, to as many people as they can. So that's giving me inviting people to church and, you know, it's giving cult again. I'm getting cult energy. Like, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Please don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't get to a point of a Jim Jones energy to where you sitting drinking the Kool-Aid with the grandma who gave away her life savings. Is that coming? Is that next? Is this a prophetic energy coming through, y'all? Is the church getting desperate because so many people are awakening and learning that they hold this power, that it was demonized and weaponized? Because these people had to keep the lights on. They wanted titles. They wanted luxurious lifestyles. I know I'm going to get in trouble now. Behind the Two of Cups, we have the Hierophant. I mean, that's a good sign to see, right? I mean, I love seeing the Hierophant in the upright. But coming off of this energy makes me a little leery. Like, is it really what it says that it is? But I feel like that goes on a lot across these pulpits. Are they really who they say they are? And I need to say, I'm not. Nobody is above reproach. I know that ministry leaders can mess up and mess up horribly bad. And they can redeem. Everybody can be redeemed. I say this. Y'all know this. Everybody should be allowed second, third, fourth, fifth chances, right? But after a while, it gets kind of old. It gets kind of suspect, right? If it keeps happening. This is somebody who knows that they're getting away with things. But I'm hearing because their magical energy or their magical presence. But this is coming from this Magician card reverse. We're looking at a Hierophant reverse with our physical, a Hierophant, ooh, I said reverse. We're looking at a Hierophant upright with our physical eyes. Oh, my pastor. Oh, my church. I love my church. But why are you scrambling to buy a little meal at McDonald's come Monday morning? But, oh, you're going to remain faithful. And y'all, I'm really going to get in trouble. I'm really going to get in trouble for this one. All right, y'all. I hope this helps.